sport has a phenomenal power. Like, people are critical of sport, that it's vacuous or shallow, or it's like this thing you do or chasing the ball around, but there's so much more going on, and there's so many amazing stories at play in just one player. There's such power because people are so invested in it, and how can this language be translated into something that actually wakes people up to an aspect of themselves that they maybe haven't been valuing or they haven't quite understood because of the busyness of modern life. But I have to, I suppose, get a hold of myself first.
Is beag duine a bhfuil an scill, an seasabhacht agus an chrógach do chun í de scarúint fort na himre. Nuair a hagan eile héad de léach sport chun cín, is minic mar lucht takeíochta gon enimí déthe beagadóid. Agus trám an túlach é an meas seo agus an brúach an búchanna nuair a héan cuasaí chuine. Fíor chrógach a bhín ag tastáilin sin le tú a thróthú an áthúr bhóthar casta de leasa. Dimmer léach amáníochta, captéin fórná a Lochgarman, go láidir agus go patanta, so le dána críoch gan cine lena chréimhse imrithe do bhór a drachláinte. Tá Diarmuid Lyng nó Gizzy chos persanta, le díriú na is tochtaí tá tail seo. Ní láit níos fearr le tús a chur le heistear don tuairt seo ach ag a chlub féin, St. Martin's.
Tá muid a baile an fíorsaigh, 5,000 is dóilm ó baile le Charman. How are you all?
Hey Gizzy, how's it going?
Good, yeah? Nuair a hanamar an seo, bhí Rory McCarthy an seo, bhí George O'Connor an seo, bhí John O'Connor an seo, bhí léachra amáníochta le Charman an seo, bhíidir tréis créamh a bhóchant in 1996 agus tháinig athrú olmhór onam na rudaí a bhí na bringlódaí ar fad a bhí agam faoin sport an sais caighdeán a bhí a géirí buine amach an sport.
Thosaigh Diarmuid agus ar thuair de thar ag imirt i glónord i mbaile le Garman. Tá buin fuair fós ag an nathair Michael Lyng leis an glub. Bhogann teile go baile an fíorsaigh agus Diarmuid ina ghasúir. Bhí las anima óige baistéir faoin drá sin, Gizzy.
When Diarmuid was 3 or 4 years of age, the gremlins came out and it's very colouring as Gizmo.
It was the freckles, I think.
And I was like here with freckles. But we started Gizmo, was a pet name, so I converted to Gizzy.
Tá tradiisiúnal sport go láidir ag míntar Gizzy ar an dáthaamh. Bhí cáil mhuair ar bhaintear Lyng mar imreoirí líróid láimhe gan trácht ar an imáint. Is as cíl cheannig dá bháthair Marie, deire ráite.
Like, you were all handball, it was all handball for the Lyngs.
Yeah, they were brilliant handballers.
Like, Dad's uncle, Dick Lyng, is a world champion handballer, and there's cups named after him, and at a time when handball was massive. So where did it kind of manifest into hurling?
Jim played hurling for Wexford. Dick played minor hurling for Wexford too. Your mum's father won senior championships in Kilkenny, in Bennettsbridge, and our uncles.
We don't like to talk about it as much, but we do admit to it in the end. Like, I can remember we'd be going to Crow Park and Wexford would be playing Kilkenny. And when we came to the bridge in Ross, there was a kind of a collective heave in the car where we'd like breathe in as if, right, we're going to breathe again when we get out of Kilkenny, you know. That was the kind of that was the joke, so to speak, that we couldn't breathe Kilkenny air.
Which Marie loved.
Which man wasn't too impressed with it, really.
Bhí simthar cuimseag Diarmuid agus a gratharachas sa sport. Dahan siad ina gríoistigh gan éireacht le amachchan se.
I used to ring him every second day.
Ag íse séideoch có círan go sasanna le sacr imirt go profisiúnta. Is le fyrden hinter pelle le Garman in isitá sé.
Is caiinlam a cainte den éigen a trénálaí bháin as bhí tréis Jack Clay immert an ihar beidir. As dúir sé, you know, I think you might make it, you know. I think you might make it for Wexford. And I was like, céim fág a gapan tú an smaoiní an gachtain mar sin nach bhfuil is a gacha aine go bhfuil chun é dhéanamh. How was that, Ciara? We had been told for so long by Dad the 4 Lyngs are going to play hurling for Wexford, the same as the Rackards and the same as the Quigleys, and sure, I didn't doubt it. Like, I just thought, okay, that sounds good. I'll have some of that. And that never really crossed my mind that wouldn't be the case. And so I always kind of expected it.
I knew they were brilliant. They were good. They were good. You know, the drive, the ball, the eye-hand coordination, they had everything. They were fast. Except Gizzy. Kieran had the speed. Damn. Davey had the speed.
If you played a game and you were the worst player on the pitch, Dad would still say to you, you know, that pass you gave was brilliant. Or that ball you got in the first half was fantastic. I think Mam's side probably would be a bit more pragmatic.
In Kilkenny, there was definitely no element of getting carried away with anything or being overly impressed by yourself. That's just not really tolerated. And it served us very well, I think, as well, you know.
Oh, Grace, just closing.
Then come on. Been on road this Covachtaí doing the Reveamer Nisoiga. I'll take those hurdles if you don't do this. Agus an sin Yenamare. Ma wan bocht. Nor swinging fwy Veamer says fion mar lads og Cachar Bucali.
Mihal, call will too.
He's heard that voice a few times, I tell you.
Oh, geez, our washing machine would never stop. No. And then when we built this house, I put a bag room in it, a shower downstairs, everything, so that when they'd come in the back door, I said, and then they'd go in through the utility room, they'd take off all their stuff in the bag room, and then they go into the shower. What did they do? They came in the front door, went up the stairs in their boots.
I don't think that ever happened once. I don't think we ever.
Thosaigh Diarmuid le minúirí Lochgarman, agus cúte chun páirce leis an bhirden sínsir den chéadúir I gábhí sa chathair. Ní roiada go dtí go raibh sé ag imirt go rialta leo. Dimmer sé ag luí canis craobhláin ceithre cíneacha as a chéile I gcuine chit Kilkennig. Ach mar léin do bhí firna chunta a bháthir rómhadóid. Agus éana cheaptain an Lochgarman, thugar le lo an chéad áit I roinne dó sa trean náisiúnta. Tháinig críoch toban lenar réimse mar imreoir. Bégan de Diarmuid éirí as do bhar tuirse a bhí a thípe ón bhliain 2007. Credan sé go nachadh sé thar fór I sesiún críotherapi.
Hála sé go toban agus ní raibh an ann ghlacha leis. Cúi meis deach sa seomra éir sin na 2007 agus stop mé immer de 2010. Bhí brú orm.
I was here when he came back from the cryotherapy chamber that night, and he shivered, and he was really, really unwell, and Diarmuid's never unwell. And it was really hard to see this chap who had been so fit and well to have, you know, just had no energy, you know. It changed him.
Ní raibh ná nithe, ní raibh ná nól, ní raibh ná chola. Agus sin thosaigh rudaí a dul bheos. So cé nach raibh comáthe sa bhí trí heachtain ribh sin, bhí níos fearr ná sa bhí an So bhí is ag bogus suas ó 25 bhangéad, go 30 bhangéad, go 35. Agus is dólam gur stop mé timpeall 60, agus an sin stop mé an sin. A ceap mé gcónaí just caiith mé dul. So an park bhí orm cléthe difriúla a aulam is stoilm, agus bhí orm a bheith glic faoi, agus ní raibh céad bhangéad macánta leis an gluthe mar sin, mar ní raibh macánta lom héin a dul isteach. An ceistethe go manis ná Geansaí bliain a míoch agam ó 2007, 2010 an rud a gras lá na foiinmh sin like fi 5, fi 6, fi 7, fi 8. Sais cailte.
Tá sé deacair de aine doling neclis, nuair a sciuptar do chuid úlfantí sport éige úd.
An chéadúr a chunig mise Diarmuid ag gimmert ag geart ná craobh strathe 1B 2010 dócha. Bhí Gizzy an scacháid, bhí sé sort cosú le Rider Rovers. Tógan pochna séra, tógan taobhlíne, fáil scóna, sús síos na páirce, thug mé leach an cléthedó. Chaise go mó bheith cainte daoine tá gimmar cléthaí agus iad gortathe is dechar chursúlas le bheith gorta nuair tá sim go in láran in séasúr bheith gimmart nó bheith tréáil bheith dulguríos na cléthaí cai go raibh sé anna cruúir Diarmuid bheith ní raibh sé gortathe ní raibh éon bindeláin ar ní raibh éon madí crisige ach ní raibh sé ábhalt émart agus cai go raibh sé sin an díana ar mar gcuine daoine féchan deisteach ar beidir catá cear le Gizzy féchan sé go bra ach níl sé go bra.
I don't know, it's funny seeing someone who was outside kind of looking in, so I get to tell them the best version that suits myself, which is probably what I've done loads of times, but you're kind of right beside me through it, so you probably saw a different side, I think, to things in a way.
Well, I did. The most frustrating thing for me looking at you was you were our best player and all of a sudden then we lost you, and I could see it because I was such a close friend that just something wasn't right. Your energy levels weren't there, you weren't eating properly, and you were trying different, whether it was medication or diets to get yourself right. I'd have to say people questioned how ill you were or what was wrong because the county board didn't know for sure, I'd say the management didn't know for sure, but no one doubted that there was something wrong. The whole Wexford panel were disappointed, and it was just a great pity at that time of your career that you had to walk away from it because Wexford probably needed you more than ever at that stage.
It's funny, yeah. In the end, I kind of almost thought they'd be glad to get rid of me in a way. It's a weird way to think, you know.
This was something deep inside you where, I mean, I think you needed people to believe that there was something wrong, and I don't think enough people believed you at the right time.
Even though we chat about it a lot, sometimes I wonder what you think of it, you know, in seeing what was happening to me of not being able to just kind of let go and play or whatever.
I see you, I suppose, as Gizzy, and I see you as Diarmuid. In the last 4 years, Diarmuid has come out a lot more, and I respect you in that you have other interests, and that hurling hasn't just been your life.
It's better that we're trusting con tape shot, shot more class, shot Steve will come in. On better than McCuss.
Le Lyng an aimse ar fad agus é món imrithe, de bhí sé món sadéir chomá. Cáilíoch é mar bhúntar bunscaile, agus mar a hála, fuair sé post i Nghailscoil Charman, I Mallila Charman.
District May for an post agus dúirtí Diarmuid Lyng, you know, an fearbínig I Mánaíochta agus dúirtí tá leas anna mar, and I said, Gizzy, mar bhí
Glyn
spreader on Gizzy Lyng ar fag sé seach.
Yeah, rounding daoine an leas anam sin leis is ríist.
Bhí go leor cuairmí ar Gizzy idir a gharan nuair mar bhúntóir agus an Mánaíocht idir chunta.
Bhí láháine gur chail sibh cluiche mór. Ceapan a gcuine blochlíach seán nuair gur blochlí díorcha tosnú. Agus bhí gachénig súil go múthach le Gorman. Gus cuiinem an bháidean luúin sin tháinig mar scáil agus bhí mar do réisiús go clíns go ceaparáil agus bhúlthhair an bhuineog agus rit léimtúisteach sa chóir. Bhí dólam gur géirí teachatín seo mar fórna agus thug mé siad de sús go tín siop agus bhí tú cho ísio. Cho ísio, níach mé bhí tú dómh san aig. Just near to an large, you know, vi too. So Rich Jackson shop up and he done gur honey to go to show more for in a few nation. An Ericsson team art because vi can agla art fi care the Erichtini. So you gear eist slash and radio nu the be. Screen am not.
Swing of fishing more like harni clehe more being just ishel.
Ag fós cai tú teachtar scoil an nation. Fós cai tú seasavos cor wrong poshti agus fe cinná gealgorach. Ag se an yakart an nation. Screen am go
Yeah. Ní rás an ann ghlacha leis, thug sé trí bhliain chun ghlacha leis go raibh orm stop. Agus chuig mé ag taistil an sin, ní ra bhéin bailach chur amach ag géine dom nuair bhí orm rud éigean íanamh mé héin, so chuig mé ar aig.
Thóg Diarmuid brise garna, cha sé 8 mí ag taistil an dam. Ar a chlí, tháinig sé níos le físeán chun taú le imróirí an gcortaítar. Cha sé seall I manisir bhúdaíoch I Bangkok, sa Tibéad agus ar aisram Austrálach. Ileireacht fersanta a bhúscail féin a feallsúnachta ann. Ar a theachta bhaile dó go héireann, d'éirigh sé as an múntóireacht.
In íag Tibet agus sa téalann, nuair a tháinig mé bhaile bhí sa géirí áitne a bhaint amach, bhíag sa sim a daoine a rudaí mar sin a bhíag spéirach go mar mund bhfuil an spéir sin agat sa bheith hí tampil nó ruige mar sin si an dechar leirla duine nach sin strodasa é a bhíúdaine ach nuair an nach digan siad si dechar san chorá si leanú raig. So tháinig mé an seo chun just áit siochanach go bhaint amach I ma héal héan ní hé ó héamh cuasaí Buddhism a tháinig mé. Agus an sin tá clachta a thairsúil freisin an daon machnamh a thairsúil. Agus tá sais deis yoga agus qigong and of qigong sais is rud é ha sais leth idir yoga agus daon machnamh tá tú bugad fuineh the corp. There's a moment on the field, you're running to a ball and for about a second before it comes into your hand, you know that it's coming and you have the bounce tracked. And there's a kind of a zone that you fall into there just when it comes into your hand and you go to turn. And you can either go back into all of your training and you'd see what do I do here, but I think in that moment there's just total and utter openness. There's nothing prescribed, nothing matters that's gone before. There's like just this absolute open space for creativity. And so what happens next, you could do something that's never ever been done, ever by anybody. And that possibility is absolutely magic. And I think to have that possibility, as we do in each probably unfolding moment, no different to have on radio or no different to have anywhere else, when you have that possibility, it's such an addictive thing to want to get to that point.
All right, good stuff, lads. Stay with us, everybody. If you want to get in touch, you can text the show here. 53106 is the text number, or you can tweet us at Off The Ball. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after these.
Off the Ball with the Betdaq Exchange.
Yeah,
available and on your mobile.
Remember the very first time I did a Saturday panel with Diarmuid, we were talking about Tommy Walsh and being in the moment. Like, the Kilkenny lads love Tommy because he hooks and blocks and he's got no ego, and the fans love him because he catches high balls. But Gizzy was able to put it in the context of somebody being an artist in charge of the situation and being in the moment. And I'd never really heard anybody talk about sports like that.
Definitely not Tommy Walsh anyway.
No.
Yeah, you're like talking about jazz or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if every other athlete is gifted with that same sort of an insight. Now maybe it's also a curse as well, because maybe, you know, it's your thoughts are so loud in the moment that, like, you know, they're sort of almost blocking it.
Except then it clearly wasn't too loud. You wait 20 years for somebody to start putting the sideline balls over, and now they're doing it 3 times a game.
Yeah.
But you were the first. Certainly one of the first.
It's funny, I think that when you can let go of the need to win, you're actually increasing your chances of winning. So why wouldn't you go into that place?
Yeah.
And the reason you don't go into that place is fear. And the reason that there's fear is because managers
Má dhéchan túir na chluíar fád atáine, mar is ceol a seans le ar líon áfuil tú gimar de solimsa mar nós cuasaí peile chomá tá cluthe ahrathe ó bhain.
Tá, yeah.
Sné neartas móthaige cum luchas go pobl bhunaithe gur cás leis an bubal má chaileann a bhuiir náitiúil, gur cás le an timúir is feartha go gorta, gur cás le dul amach agus ticéad a dhéalchan an clubich meidir a bhunaibh. Agus an tlíán tíir seo meach fe láthir ó hebh pobl beag túthe, nó rialcha tú chuisteach go méall rimleoí óga nach féile éimmart ag le bhéal síse. Banín sé sin club na beag túthe. Agus mar bhfuil club na túthe go tá sé magalóir bheith caiintir, céil mo chud na crochuig agus an mór club na hábhachtant. Mar bhfuil Ilan Daire gimar chaide, as an ascar rion na chaide, Mick O'Connell. Mar bhfuil fuir na cosan, Tommy de Dribblord, sé chéch na go tú bhfuil. Ok. Mar chaide. Éisteachtaí é fanis. Tá léocha tastáins na hen agus tá sa chéoch na henis tá sa chéoch na gimmart pelle, aber cadéad na rudí go gghíon tú ara, ní chuoíon tú mar a ggébrí choras amach nó mar i gnéanú de. Chuoíon tú nómatí dríochta, na rudí difriúla a bheann, aber agus sné hasig leat agus nuair a háú las mod an bobbal son, aber agus is bobbal é.
Well, that's just beautiful by Diarmuid.
Ach, snéad na rudí a chanig leat, is cum cadíon túna dhéag sin mar amáí na mar felladóir mar éon rudeile.
Agus cinse tá go leor á leanúntaige. Tá buint nach beag ag Diarmuid le tiúnscan óige.
And soar is a huge part of my last few years, and anything I've done in soar where we've all sat in a circle, what is inside the direction you're looking right now, which is in towards each other, has always been the most important, and everything outside of that is less important.
In éanacht lena cheanna chéad a córic Tony Griffin ó chuntaí an chlár, táidir é cothú cócht agus féinmheas sa chéad ghlúin eile.
At that stage, SOAR didn't even have a name, it was an infant concept. And since then, you joined the board, helped design our child protection program, then became a facilitator, and is now kind of a trusted counsel to the organisation.
Nuair a tugann tú deis, nuair a éistíonn tú do dhaoine óga, tuigeann tú nár duine óga gaithh tú rudaí a bhúna dóibh, tuigeann tú go bhfuil rud ag an beo antú agus nó cruthaíonn tú an spás dóibh, é sin teacht amach. An rud a hagan amach is rud álan é, is rud cofachtach é, is rud grána é, is rud docreite cofachtach go generalta é.
I remember the day he came back from Nepal. You ended up staying the night, and the following morning we went for a run, and we stopped on the beach, and I said, do you want to meditate for a while? I remember you said, geez, I would love to do that. And we laughed about it afterwards. We said, here we are, two hurling players meditating on the beach, and we barely know each other, and isn't it mighty?
Where's Diarmuid now? I'd say he's in Melbourne with the monks. And where is he now? He's on the Blaskets, on his own.
Bollock naked on the Blaskets.
It was on Facebook, Marie.
It was not.
It was.
So, yeah.
That's where you saw it.
It's like the statue of David.
Thanks, Caroline.
Mary and Joseph, I didn't realise it was on Facebook.
Where did you see it?
On my phone. Yeah, no, it was. I have to admit, it was a good picture.
Something like that is a thing of, I'm not going to say natural beauty because it's me, but it's just, it's a human being and it's out in nature and it's wild and it's fine. Like, what's really wrong with that? It's not.
Actually, I have to admit. It's a very well put together picture.
I ngámhíle sa chúideag, cha Diarmuid tréise an lascaid mhór. Seanstó fille an fuinte dóchasach.
Búlan daine an Ileán agus ní léon rud le amach, ní léon rud cínte go gaithí tú déanamh nó gur féidir at déanamh, ní léon struchtúr ar an áit. Is smaoinmh a dúspáir teacht an nuas chuig an áit seo, bhí sa smaoinmh bheidh sé go mádom a bheith in nádúr níos mó a chathamh a léamh an gaí agus an taide agus a fiachant ar rudaí difriúla nach mí a fiachant ar tíomhheil na tíre. Agus is sais rud éigean i d'intin, sais concap atá agat, beag sé mar seo, sin an rud a háid tastáil uim an seo, tám chun dul agus é bhuine amach. Agus thug méid fin airad tre seachtain an seo go bhfuil cofacht eile, go bhfuil cadreh eile a dul raig, go bhfuil nádúr a fiachant ort a freisin ará. Tar chuim, tá tú sábháilte lom nábí bór faoi, agus bhíos an sin is eisteach é rá, but bhíos é sin agus rud láidir é.
Yeah.
Tá cóirla lorgathe agus scata fálamathe dá réir, ag Diarmuid ón suí áitiúil Danny Sheehy.
Thomas smaoinmh ar fuinmh agus aspa fuinmh, agus an sin a fiach an dorbh se ha I bhar seascadaí agus rábhíocht a dul ó Blachlí go Santiago agus beidir a raig marachán ó peáit nó bhfuil si bhdáil. But like, yeah, nadidir cadas a hagan an fuinmh sin.
Tá sé anna ar fad like. Yeah, couldn't Joan or héine bar. But ní higus riamh bud beidir fihead tucha bliana háinna go bhétané sé dhéanamh. Aber chur fág lána machchas de cheanna dhéasa. Agus beidir fihead tucha bliana ná binan anna dhéanamh. Díonn tó brahann sé an decha hagat an sír seigine. So bhfuil anna bhainte a sír seigine leis. Díonn tó heb cúsaí fuinmh gur cuma leata dhéasa agus mé ordéanú eile, caitheann tú go chéanú eile a chur amachchas de cheann. Beidir nach chéindí bháile seo ráha, mar so an beidir go muinn se leis an áite, is peidir raibh síostíoch sethe. I gcuí síocháin a chút. Síocháin íomhaid na tuine ratha chút. Síocháin íomhaid na leoine buige chút. Síocháin íomhaid na réilíní glisca chút. Síocháin íomhaid na cré socara chút. Síocháin íomhaid mac na síthe chút.
Bhí sé stracailt le rud éigean anm héin agus cail mé amach ar an fíor nasca bhí agam leis an amáint lum an Diarmuid ó go bhí tóca le just tanamh bhaint as cluiche áirithe immert. So bhí sa brahant an drumclá an duine, so sin sais Gizzy dar lomsa níos mó sais an ego, níos mó na héanaar deile. Bhí sa géirí sais fád réig leis ach tá treis teacht ar an nóla san isis nach féidir lom. Go gaithí mé sin a chuirt isteach agus ghlacha le sin ag sin cuid vat an don óir agus sin cuid vat an dorchad ag an ann céine ach gur féidir an ghlacha leis gur rud maithe.
De Geansaí an teachtain seo thuing bimidig féchant anamnachan na glob sa chuman luchlascuil an stair, seanchas agus tocht a bhainean lo.